afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the master of propaganda. We're off here to the exciting 1 vs 1 on some Moscow winter here in the south. We've got Panzergrenadier 1945 fighting for the Wehrmacht for the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division Götz von Berlichingen versus Insane DevM fighting for the United States of America. For the glory of Uncle Sam. Here with the 1st Armoured Division, we've got Jaeger Arm Mechanized Assault and Mechanized versus Rifle Company, Airborne Company, and Infantry Company. Bulletins are all infantry with the exception of a single Stuart bulletin there for DevM. So MG42 Grenadiers here versus Double Rifleman there from DevM, and the reason it's taking some time before you get something other than Brits is basically most people are still having fun with the Brits. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder getting any other kinds of matches, but here we go. DevM versus Panzergrenadier. Rifleman moving ahead, grabbing territory. Up here as well. Spread out from both sides, a bit more focused towards the west here from Panzergrenadier west. We got DevM sort of going across a very wide frontage, hoping to grab a spot territory. Of course, also suss out his opponent's lines, figuring out where he is and where he isn't, and sort of, take further advantage of that information. Grenadiers, MG42 here. DevM has gone for Rifle Company, and there we go, calling in the veteran ones. Veterans one with a bit of extra experience. Interesting enough, he's not going straight for the fuel point, at least not right away here, Mr. Panzergrenadier. By the way, he's gone straight for Jaeger armor right off the bat there, in a rather surprising move. The rifle moving about. Rifle moving about, setting up there. Grenadiers versus your echelons. So there you go, he's going for the western fuel. No one's really sort of... Oh, there we go, we got DevM going for the eastern fuel as well. Looks like the MG4 is going to try and help here, but ultimately though, DevM has picked it over. Power Panzergrenadier single Grenadier squad there in the west. Force get to fall back. Third Grenadier squad there moving in. Reaction down to half, getting into the building. Capture buys some time for the MG42 to assist here. Aggressive moving up there, could work out. But one wrong move here could end up badly for Panzergrenadier. So the MG42 continues here. Rifleman sort of trying to stay at the angle. Perhaps he's expecting an MG42 trying to press him, perhaps he's not. We'll have to see what actually happens. Looks like he's making a move for the building there. At the same time, Pioneers versus the Reasons already low on health. They go making the move for the building. Grenadiers down to half health though. Grenadiers down to half health. And then got the MG42s there. What will DevM's next move be? He has not researched grenades here, so this could not quite end up well for him. Reasons there coming under heavy fire. Grenadiers. Oh. Close, but there we go, doing some damage, unless you have to remember the support gunner can still fire up close here. In that sense, he's actually taking to negative coast. This could actually work out here for Panzergrenadier. Probably also one Grenadier they helped out, but he's actually using him to sort of grab the point there right now, despite the horrible condition. Pioneers moving up there. Going for the cutoff point though, sort of trying to engage where here Panzergrenadier is very strong. He's just sort of trying to strike elsewhere, expecting him to be weak there. Not a bad idea, not a bad idea. In fact, we're seeing him deploy more troops here. Good tactical sense there by DevM. Good tactical sense. I mean, sometimes, some players just, go for where the opponent is and he's strongest, and then you're trying to look for his weakest, and so hit him there, cutting off his resources. So, very well played here by DevM, who's probably gone for the Lieutenant. He's quickly following up with a M20 here. So that way he's going to sort of very rapidly and aggressively striking at Panzergrenadier. And of course, the question is, how will Panzer going to react to this? He, in fact, hasn't even taken up as of yet. He's in fact gone for full Grenadier aiming for a 2-star. So that is a bit of a heavy one, and that could be a bit flat-footed here versus the M20. So a bit of a dangerous situation here. His men are bleeding out on the ice. Not looking too good here for the 17th SS, which largely was composed of ethnic Germans from Hungary, which did cause some problems. There was also a division which never really got any time to get fully trained out, which also caused some troubles, in particular in Normandy, which rather meant a lot of the elements weren't quite used to working with each other, which caused some problems during attacks and the likes. In fact, as the war progressed, there was rather a lot of discussion in the high command as whether this division should actually be allowed to exist, or they should just, split up the equipment to units that could actually make better use of it. Little fun fact there, little fun fact. fought in Fort Normandy, and later on would also take part in Operation Nordwind, which was sort of the name for the assault there around the national line around the Alsace-Lorraine province, which didn't get very far. It also had one SS Gebirgsjäger division taking part in it, but rather they're getting suppressed. And there we go, and send you around to an enemy 420 detected, caught right in front of it. Oh dear, he's not quite where, he's not quite where. Good use there, good use there. So many players seem to ignore here the incendiary rounds. In this case, he got punished. He's pumping smoke there, but there we go, Panzerfaust, and the M20's knocked out there. Right there, we saw there a sort of initial quick move there. Well, sabotage to put a mark here by the incendiary rounds, which he clearly wasn't expecting. And that resulted already in Vecchi 2 for the MD-42. Very good. He was seeing a white there. No, it looks like Johnny there's making out there, but the rest of the men is dead, including Sergeant Powers. Rather than holding on, we got an ambulance down the way. Lieutenant Davies moving up behind the west. Few point taken away. And a mortar now range for Panzergrenadier. He's teched up, but he's not really making use of it. Of course, with an M20 knocked out like that, of course, he could, I suppose, in theory, allow himself to go for heavy tier 1, but he could also, go for tier 2, get some Panzergrenadiers out, or even try and rush for tier 3. Which, I'm not sure on, but again, the fuel losses there, of course, I can see the issue. I mean, he's not really been able to get any fuel at the moment. Thanks there to some of DevM's choices, they might just wait. But there we go, we got grenades up, and there we go. Pan upgrade against the Grenadiers. Did some damage there,
Ambulance taking the field. Someone get us out of here.
Grenadiers, they need to be careful.
The enemy is
and there we go, Lieutenant flanking in, could get off a grenade, there's the MD-42, the MD-42 slowly turning. Will it be in time though, there go, grenade, killed one man, down to one. Looking grim there for Panzergrenadier, looking grim, Lieutenant flanking in there, Grenadier take up in the church, which might just draw the attention of the Lieutenant and his men, ensuring the MD-42 member there can get away. Meanwhile, grabbing points there, Grenadiers moving back into the centres to assist there. No light machine gun so far for any of the troops, I believe. Oh, there we go, we got one there. Only one. I'd like to make a nice company going up here as well for Panzergrenadier. Any further tech up? Yes, he's going very quickly for a captain here, Mr. DevM, saying no 50 caliber to hold territory or anything. Going for Lieutenant M20, and then straight on to a captain. So some very rapid aggressive teching, but again, he can't get away with it thanks to the fuel points he grabbed. Though, of course, he could all just gone for the Lieutenant straight to the Major instead. So some interesting moves there from DevM. Interesting. Bit harder to pin down what exactly he's trying to do here. Also bunker up there, and what shall Panzer going to get for his lighter mechanized company here? And he's moving up there, aggressive positioning right by the eastern cutoff. Another pineapple grenade. Poor Franz did not make it out of alive.
Captain just took the battlefield.
And there we go. Captain has arrived for DevM. Captain has arrived. So we got a nice chunk of officers here for DevM. We've got both the lieutenant and the captain. Quickly moving through here, and they're opening up from their house, nice and warm. Plus we also got the mortar in the cemetery ready to support any frontline units as well. Bit of a harassment on the left flank, sneaking about. Good work there, good work. Could rush into the village centre, actually go for the church, and then go straight for the mortar, clearing out with a grenade. At the same time, Lieutenant here crossing through the eyes, rather than basically acting as a diversion for the grenades like machine gun, allowing other units to press through and get in. Good job here, nice selection of assault there by the way from DevM. Note the way he sort of attacked from here, and also had a unit sort of attack here, basically showing the jump and just, focus fire at any one point. It's a very nice job there, going to for starting building. Lieutenant does press, rather than trying into the building, get behind the MD-42, and he said he's chatting straight to the MD-42, but no, it looks like he managed to actually bluff Panzer to retreat by threatening with a grenade directly head on. So he managed to sort of pull through here, but it was rather close there, but in the end, it did work out there for DevM. It did cause him to sort of be allowed to push back Panzer and force him out and secure the village. Plus there's no mortar here that DevM can't use, though right now there's still one Grenadier escort left behind, surrounded, holding the line for the fatherland. Sergeant Steiner does not give up. Fresh counter-attack here. Pack 40 and Noise clearly worried about whatever kind of armour here that DevM might bring up. Maybe another M20, an air half-tack, or perhaps a Stuart light tank. He's certainly got the bulletins for it, so it could certainly work out there for Mr. DevM.
Grab your shit, follow me. The capture point is under attack.
Bring his link up, there we go. Stein orders is meant to secure the mortar. And then gets killed. Dropping that machine gun, a loss for Germany. At the same time, also pushed back too close to the American base, but there we go. The captain's men counter-attack. The captain himself has not been replaced as of yet. Bit awkward. So I wonder what DevM is planning here. The echelon's moving about there as well, getting a fuel point. That's where he's trying to do his best to deny Panzergrenadier any kind of fuel continually. From Panzergrenadier, we've got some fuel now, not taking up though, not getting light vehicles. He's only gone for the Pack 40 so far. Good shooting here, Gardner pushing forward. You've got smoke there from the lieutenants, ensuring the M42 can't shoot. Good work there along the rifle actually close in on it. Rios still got wiped out here, wasn't quite paying attention. There goes. He's going for the Stuart though, he's going for the Stuart to M20. And then the Stuart, very interesting, sort of a lot more light vehicles there early on. He's also using to apply further pressure, hoping to use sort of the quicker light vehicles. So that way, hold the fuel and deny it to the Germans. They can't actually get underneath the armor before DevM can, and that way still keep up a good lead using the M20 or the Stuart. But interesting here, interesting. Not quite usual to see both an M20 and a Stuart here, but DevM definitely feels like it's worth it, and that could certainly mean there might be something to it. And so he is holding on to most of that. He's got both fuel points. He is suffering some losses, but it's nothing catastrophic. Had it not been for that incendiary launch, it probably caught him off guard. I mean, he might have been able to do more of that. Either way, though, Stuart is soon ready. Panzergrenadier is on the way for Panzergrenadier. M5A1 arrives with his 30mm gun. Right now, though, Panzergrenadier needs to do something about this situation, which is currently not exactly good. As I've noticed, he's not got a lot of map control. He constantly keeps getting pushed back. He needs to set up a more solid defensive position and might consider some telemines around some of the major roads through the village centre. So we'll of course have to hear what Panzergrenadier does. Stuart moving about very slowly on the ice. Careful, Gerald, careful. Can't have this thing tipping on the ice and falling through. Can that happen, Sarge? I don't know, Gerald. I'm not gonna find out. There we go. Lieutenant here caught by the M42, getting to the church. Still getting to the church. Rapid flank here. There we go. We've got a very large Grenadier force here, covering up the flank of the MD42, ensuring the Rapid can't easily push through, and they're about to get wiped, to put it mildly. Also, a bit of flamethrower work there, forcing the M42 to relocate, getting the Lieutenant more time to easily shoot it down. And there we go, Veteran T3 for the MD42. Veteran T3, good work. Anti-tank gun following up here for insane DevM. There goes Stuart, takes it there from the Pat 40. The Pat 40 is falling back without actually hitting the Stuart. The Stuart's not entirely sure what's going on. Smoke down there to cover up the retreat by the looks of it from Mr. DevM. Assault going in there, right with flamethrowers. Grenadiers still need to spread out, otherwise they're going to be very easy to target. And there we go, grenades on top of everything. You could see what there's Stuart joining in as well. Good job here, punishing Panzergrenadier for not spreading out as Menax using cover here. Good work, good work. This could easily end up being very painful for Panzergrenadier. You're already seeing further loss of the pylon. We got a bit of kill there or hit on the Stuart, but that's about it really. Grenadiers heavily damaged. Pack 40 could get wiped and stolen here by DevM. Still no tech up, still no tech up. Careful, Panzergrenadier, careful. Where are those Panzergrenadiers? Oh, they're going for the fuel. Oh! Wiped from the mortar.
Got a report of an infantry unit being wiped
That's
out.
gotta hurt.
Area secured.
Mortar caught here by the rifleman.
Form up. A capture point is being overrun.
And rifleman suppressed. Not surrounded. Fuel bomb being grabbed back. Panzer is moving in.
Supply lines cut. Germans are making a push.
Pioneers moving up. And Panzergrenadier is pushed away. Quick grenade as well.
Crowds show 300 points on their
Unfortunately,
line.
the Pioneers, DevM is overall still maintaining good map control. Panzer is having a hard time actually reversing the situation. Though it looks like he's finally taking up their 14-minute mark. Might be able to get out some armor, and I think DevM is also taking up here. So he's actually gone for all three
The enemy is overrunning
tier
one of our
structures
capture
here
points.
within the 15-minute mark. That is pretty interesting to watch. It's certainly a bit rare to see from American players, all in all. Pushing it with the veterans team before 2, another assault here. Panzergrenadiers back reinforcing, so Pomacor going up there. And we got the Student in and flanking with the Grenadiers. Now to tank with support there, so they're going to be very good with that pursuit. Plus the grenades there from the Lieutenant. Oh, did have the Pack 40 there. Good hit on the Student, forcing that to pull back, but Ravner pushing up centrewards. Flamethrower fire on the Grenadiers, threatening to cook them alive.
Krauts are taking one of our points.
Still, DevM is holding on to the fuel quite viciously. And the Student is still providing support, just being a bit more careful about the angles here, so can't even hit from Pack 40 around there.
There's a Major reporting for action.
Major out for DevM. Panzergrenadier making progress now, though.
All done over here.
Of course, the question is what we're getting first from the support, CoH2, Ostwind, or Panzer IV.
Reinforcements in.
Shooter around here, Captain taking man losses. Increasingly large losses, those of Panzergrenadiers are going to continue to fire away, shooting through the windows and the walls. Not quite bulletproof. Up and advancing, still getting ready. Stuart striking once more on the exposed flank. Good work there, good work. Now, he never sort of strikes at the west with the Stuart. It's always east, and that could certainly make it a bit easier for Panzergrenadiers to predict what DevM does, and maybe sort of prepare the Pack 40 for that. But it's time here for the mid-game analysis. Counter-situation. Panzergrenadiers finally sort of making some headway. He's finally getting back to territory against DevM, who sort of had a nice sort of initial lead here, though of course sort of slightly losing out. Then he did go straight for some medium armor to follow up with the M20 and the Stuart. Now we can now go for some medium armor. Sherman or E8 here could be, I think, some rather good choices versus Panzergrenadier. They do think a 50 caliber hit somewhere could also been quite of help there to sort of help stall some of Panzergrenadier's advances. Maybe at least on the sides, on the flanks, to sort of cover up things there. Another thing to consider here for DevM might be at least getting up a single fuel cache or two to further ensure he can keep up the fuel loss, even as Panzergrenadier's gaining the fuel points. And that way ensure he can just keep rolling up that fuel to ensure he can keep rolling out those tanks in the longer run. Another option here for DevM might be to consider getting some upgrades for the riflemen. Besides flamethrowers, a single BARs and bazookas I think could prove to be quite helpful in the longer run as well here for DevM. Otherwise, a pack carrier would also be a neat choice. A bit of artillery would help burst the Pack 40, the enemy mortar, and could also be used to stall down some of Panzergrenadier's assaults. For Panzergrenadier, the situation coming, he really needs to attack and needs to be more focused. I mean, sort of decide what set of fuel points wants to hold alongside the other victory points. I mean, here for example, or here. I mean, either way, he needs to make a decision and sort of try and work towards holding that and make it very difficult for Insane DevM to just charge in and take it. And some armor as quickly as possible would also be good. I mean, a Stu could be a sort of initial option here. Would help out down the Stuart. It could also help versus any Shermans initially. Plus, with the machine gun upgrade, it can even help a bit versus the infantry. So that would be a pretty decent opening choice. Otherwise, a few mines would cover up the roads would be good. He could have even thrown a half track, use that to lay down some Regal mines for some extra combo effect there, but immobilizing and making the job even easier for his anti-tank weapons. Otherwise, I suppose he could throw in more Panzergrenadiers, or otherwise, caches is always a good choice there. Caches, as always, would help him, particularly since he's the one who's rather been behind in the fuel game. Caches could help offset that just a bit. But there's just to see here what the two players actually do. Good multiplier there versus the rifleman. The losses there to the rifle spot, and there we go. Rifleman almost wipes it, almost. There we go. Can shoot through that. Didn't know that. Alright, gets a kill. Veteran defeat, 12 kills.
A capture point is under attack.
Oh, nice flank here. Pack 44 to fall back. Centre might collapse again. Stuart rushing in to deal with the veteran 3 Grenadiers up close, and we see a full receiver from Panzergrenadier realising he can't do much in that situation. There we go. The assault issue Sturmgeschütz shoots there from Panzergrenadier in 1945 to help deal with the Stuart and perhaps also support his infantry versus other infantry. At least if he upgrades to the machine gun, of course, considering the doctrine he has, he can always use the spotting scopes to get a bit more extra range out of it.
Area clear!
Rifle moving about.
Organize the men.
Armor here.
Keep low. Keep low.
Panzergrenadier opening up there. Quite nicely. Lieutenant taking some minor loss, and there you go. MD-42 caught on the middle road here by the steward. Bad news for them crew. Good fighter Heinze needs to get out of there, and there we go. Orders the men back. Veterans one, the Panzergrenadiers, flamethrowers galore, but we got lots of ability on that machine gun as well. And there we go, the Panzer's getting absolutely cooked there. Forced to get on the building before it turns into a burning inferno. And then the Stuart joins in to sort of flank the retreat. Nasty work there, nasty work. Church though can't keep standing for much longer. It's already looking pretty undefensible.
Gun ready for action.
And there we go, quick to get up. But there we go, at the same time, smoke's going to allow the rifle to get close here. DevM keeping up the pressure, making good use of smoke, and forcing Panzer to sort of give up the centre of the village again. But Sturmgeschütz arrives, spotting scopes up. No sign of a pendulum machine gun there to sort of help spot targets. Pioneers pushed away from here. Lots of action. Victory points not looking good for Panzergrenadier in 1945 either. Compared to DevM, who's certainly looking to have a much stronger hand. And soon he can call up either an EC8 or just a more regular Sherman he wants to.
We're losing a capture point.
Good hit there, he might be able to get the Stuart. And Stuart kaput. Good hit there from the pack and Stug.
They are at 200 points.
Lieutenant leading another assault, anti-tank and cowering with a captain as well. Oh, finally call up our pack out to some bombard the Krauts here, those damn bastards. And there we go. Pack out to shoots but doesn't quite score a hit. MD-42 actually being suppressed, low on health, actually needs to pull that one back before it's too late here. Taking the advantage now to restore the gun, they can make a straight beeline there for the pack howitzers. Still not supporting, not one bit. Pack howitzer shoots as well. Nothing further from the base. Panzergrenadier in 1945 at the moment. Grenades going off. And looks like a grenade squad there was wiped out in a series of explosions and fires. Again, Panzergrenadier suffering rather a lot of pressure here in the centre, and he can't quite hold the line. Not with those MD-42, since he only went for one that rather gives DevM plenty of options to sort of push him out. Now, DevM's really got the resources for the EC8, but he's not going for it. It really should go for a medium tank as soon as you can. You just push further harder at Panzergrenadier. Right now he's just giving Panzergrenadier time to actually get up more of his own armour to sort of counter any armour up that DevM might try and get. And there we go, finally got the EC8 out. On its way.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Going for the other fuel point, this one held by some Panzergrenadier. Very close to it too. A full retreat point right in the middle of the road. Pretty ballsy there by DevM, pretty ballsy.
A capture point is under attack.
Panzer's there at the building, Veteran 2, Rifleman and Lieutenant all around there. You go, actually runs up right under the Lieutenant's nose. 3 yards that's about, need to get to the other door, come on. Oh dear, can't see this up. I did do some damage to the Lieutenant, almost got him wiped. That's not too bad. Stu still not getting a machine gun upgrade. And now we got the EC8 there arriving to the field. Could add in on a 50 caliber there to help those of the infantry, or he might of course be setting up munitions for the white phosphorus. No, let's go for the 50 caliber upgrade. Let's go for the 50 caliber upgrade. Stu continues to shoot wildly around it. Captain taking up position in the ruined church and opens up there in the assault gun. Pioneers here versus Rifleman, already suppressed though. Already suppressed, which would give the Pioneers a good chance of winning this one. Suppressed units are a lot less accurate, so the Pioneers basically got the advantage here. There we go, almost wiping the Rifleman, gaining Veteran 2. EC8 to the rescue though, EC8 to the rescue. There we go, Pioneers wiped instead.
The capture point is being overrun.
Gonna do suppressed. bunched up. Still heavily damaged. Need to pull back. Need to pull back. Sherman though also heavily damaged here. Both pieces of armor. Oh, almost got the Sherman. Almost got the Sherman. Need to lay down the smoke screen here. Need to lay down the smoke screen. Also get up some troops to support it. Cover it. Screen it. Quick anti-tank rifle grenade. Oh! Allowed it to shoot. Ooh, careful, DevM, careful. At the same time, Panzer is also pushing his luck pretty severely. Missed again, and there we go. Stu got the EC8. If he just kept pulling him back, maybe laying down the smoke screen, he probably could have saved that EC8. Instead, he just had to try and knock out that Stu. He just had to try and push his luck. And that rather allowed Panzergrenadier to then get sort of a killing blow there on the EC8. Bit of a shame there for DevM, bit of a shame. Panzergrenadier here making short work of the lieutenant and friends. Quick as grenade doesn't leave much of an impression there upon these Deutsche Soldaten. And there it goes to taking the longest route as possible to take it safely back to the base for some repairs, which it most desperately needs. Panzergrenadier here following up with a flat panzer to further handle the infantry there from DevM. Victory points not looking good for Panzergrenadier by the way, not looking good. And there we go before 2 minutes at the centre. So he's actually guarding himself a second MD-42 to uphold territory. That's good, that's good. Captain is stopped by the veteran 3 MD-42. Losses piling up there on the road to victory. Oh dear, these guns will need to retreat. They're almost victory 3, but they're rifling up victory 3 and they've got a flamethrower and they've got more health and more members. Oh dear, this is going to be right there. Heavy loss there for the 17th SS. Source for veteran soldiers. But Flak Panzer's here to avenge the losses. Doing these bit of damage there. Captain repulsed. Only rifle holding up there. Building and mortared. Veteran 2 on the pack. Out of that. That's pretty nice. Almost got wiped. Almost got wiped. Rifle needs. Oh, wiped out. Wiped out.
We just lost a unit. Shit.
Panzer continues the assault here. The Flak Panzer leads the way to victory. And it's, oh, he lost the Veteran 2 pack howitzer crew. Devastating loss there to DevM. Devastating loss. And Lieutenant wiped as well. This is quick going sour. Looks like he's saving up for another EC8. He can get it right now, but then also needs to get it right now. Got an EC8 there on the way. Using it there from the mortar, close to Veteran 2-3.
Get them to turn it! Ready!
Area secured.
And a quick bit of shooting there. Captain stopped by the MU-42. 82 points to left for Panzergrenadier. He's very much on the edge here. Considering his opponent, that is Mr. DevM's got 424 victory points. Second EC arrives. Hopefully DevM can do a bit more to keep that one alive.
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the Death Factory, boys. Stick with me and you might just make it. Keep your head down.
Setting up with that one, moving towards the west now. Moving up, still no upgrade for the machine gun there. Rifle shooting up, they're going to leave forced a bit back. Smoke screen there to avoid fire from the Grenadiers. Good work there, good work. Nice to see them, nice issues there. And there we go, MD-42 versus the EC8. At the MD-42 has got no chance there versus DevM's EC8 tank there. So named because of its EC8 suspension. It was called. Rumble and Thunder, Flak Punch moving in. Almost got a wipe there. There we go, we got the E6 upon. We also got the M1 there to help as well.
Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being
Moving ahead. absolutely fine. There goes Duke moving in, Pack 40 as well. Oh dear, it's isolated. It's right on the ice. Flank exposed, and there we go. Panzer just rushed with the Pack 40 and Duke. Target weak point. Almost got it. Oh no. EC8 kaput. A horrifying loss there for DevM. Clearly wasn't expecting Panzer just to rush it with a Stoop and a Pack 40 like that. Had he had some rifles to cover the left flank here, he might have been able to sort of spot and pull back. He's taking time instead, who was basically blind there. So it was too late. And there you go, Flak Panzer striking at the exposed units out in the open. Good hit there from the anti-tank against the Ostwind. Bits of wood flying all over the place. And the pack out there about to be cleared out as well, rather than under fire. Of course, at this point, the question might have been, what if, DevM just gone for the lieutenant and then gone straight for the major instead of going for the company command post and the captain's to it first? He might have stood a better chance to be able to pressure Panzer and be better.
Allied AT gun has been destroyed.
Might just been able to do that. Pack house wrecked, annihilated, kaput. Smoke again though, smoke again. So you got that Flak Panzer trying to murder away at those Yankee riflemen. Lost the MD-42, at least it wasn't his veteran fleet MD-42 crew, his elite crew. Each one with an Iron Cross second class. And MD-42 they're allowed, or left behind there for DevM to grab if he wants. And now we got a Panzer 4 riding for Panzer, and he's quickly building up a notable armor advantage versus DevM, who's been on the hand, having a very hard time holding on to any armor. Captain versus Flak Panzer. Flak Panzer seems to be winning hands down here. There we go, Captain wiped out entirely. He stood out in the open, had no cover, no safety. He was pretty much just being slaughtered right there alongside his men.
A capture point is under attack.
At this point, the situation seems to have turned against DevM. Got the MD-42 sitting up right in front of the veteran MD-42, but at this range, that's not going to work out. They're just getting slaughtered there. And the losses are really piling up here for them. We got a white phosphorus barrage down though. I'm surprised it took that long to pull anything in.
Go crew just got wiped out. A capture point is being overrun.
There you go, doing a bit of damage. The MD-42 is rather wrapped up in the white phosphorus. MD-42, they're stolen by the Grenadiers right under DevM's nose and taken back to Germany. And there you go, Panzer 4 joins in, and the tank are not quite there able to support. Rather than taking losses. And Grenadiers forced away. Panzer 4 could try and flank in here. Could try, and there you go, Ralph moving ahead there. Morton in a bit of trouble.
Anti-tank gun.
Objective secured! Stand firm!
We're losing a capture point.
DevM fighting as hard as you can to maintain control of the victory point, but it's not looking good here. I mean, right now, Panzer's managed to build up a massive advantage. He's got 80 population points versus, well, 27 of DevM. This is rather looking like GG at this point. And there you go, played back over. DevM started out quite nicely, I think. Tried too quickly and too greedily to sort of go for all three tiers here, rather than losing some momentum, losing some pacing, which will allow Panzer to sort of get back in the fight, despite the rather rough start he had and the difficulty in actually holding the map. But DevM, through going for the M20 Stuart and then going for the EC8, might just give him sort of this breathing space he needs to get back. Certainly didn't help that he lost the M20 like he did this right from the MD-42 with incendiary rounds that quickly. Had he been able to keep it alive for longer, things might also looked a bit differently there, but there you go. Also, lack of sort of defensive weapons, I think, could also hurt DevM a bit. I think a 50 caliber somewhere might have given him a bit of an advantage versus Panzergrenadier in 1945. Also, he was a bit late in getting their first EC8, but I think had been able to get out some armor sooner, Things could have looked a lot different there for DevM, but sadly that was not to be, and instead Panzergrenadier sort of, again, despite the rough start, was able to claw his way back, use Stoogs, pack 40s, and he also used them quite aggressively in this case, for example, as a price that second EC8, and that I think sort of was also one thing sort of really decided the outcome of the battle. Basically, he was only able to quickly rush it because he had no sort of real control of the left side of the map. He had no reconnaissance, no eyes, allowing Panzergrenadier to sort of quickly, swiftly move up on it and knock it out. So that's something you do have to keep in mind there as well. Good play there. I think Panzergrenadier could have used another doctrine because ultimately, I mean, he just only used the spotting scopes more or less, so he might as well say gone for mechanized, maybe use something else like, say, some howitzers or some other ability. Just feels a bit like a waste going for Jaeger armor only to use the spotting scopes. DevM made good use of his doctrine, though I still think he also could upgrade some of his rifle with something besides flamethrowers. I think a few BARs or bazookas could have done wonders for him. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave you additional matches. If it did, why not subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, send in a new player and find some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, thank you for watching, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye.